All right. Do we need a little drum roll or something? Daniel, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. And I hope everybody's volume is turned up.
Thanks, Aaron. I just wanted to say also thanks to Steven. And as mentioned, we really enjoy collaborating with D4SD. Not only it delivered awesome talent to our program, also the research that they've been doing and team collaboration is very critical because we just take it and implement it. All right, so we just got back from judges' deliberations, so at least we know who the winner is. You guys don't know yet, but we're going to share with you. I just wanted to say that both teams did an amazing work, and I just wanted you guys to understand what they had to go through to get to where they are. Not only did they have to show up and kind of prepare for the Innovation Sprint Week that was taking place at the end of February and the beginning of March. They had to participate in the actual Innovation Sprint, forming their team and working on their idea and formulating it and creating a little pitch and coming out as the finalist of the Innovation Sprint at the beginning of March. But after that, there were 3 months of work where they had to interact with potential customers. They had to work very close with the subject matter experts. And we would meet with them every 2 to 3 weeks for an hour with every single team to review where they're at, how much progress they've made, how much they've learned about the market, about the competition, about the customers. And they had to pass every single review gate. There are a lot of challenges. It's not so easy because sometimes you may have an amazing team in terms of talent, and yet it's hard to focus. It's hard to focus on a single solution that you want to drive. And some teams might get lost despite being super talented and hardworking. Sometimes there are issues within a team, and we've seen a lot of this. Some people just might be having challenges of getting along. That happens also. Working out through those team issues and yet staying focused and yet working on their solutions, developing solution becomes a huge challenge. In addition to all these issues like team issues, leadership issues, focus issues, making progress and getting all this information and so on and so on and so on, we all had the issue of moving the whole thing online. And at the beginning, we had a lot of concern about how the program is going to continue, now that we're doing the whole thing virtually. And it ended up working great because we've seen the dedication from both of the teams. We actually had more teams at the beginning. Some teams didn't pass through the gates, unfortunately. Some teams decided to pursue other things. And it really took a lot of perseverance. It took a lot of leadership, took a lot of dedication from both teams to be where they are today. And we're very happy about that. And to be honest, in some moments, I personally drew inspiration from the teams. I personally got inspired and got excited about how much work they were putting into solving our community's problems. And that really made a huge difference. So with that, who is the winner? So we were talking to the judges, and we were almost unanimous, right? I mean, both teams came very, very close. And at some point of time, it was hard to really say who is the winner. We agreed there are no losers for sure. I mean, both teams are winners, but yet because we decided to pick one, we realized that one team had a bit of an edge, and we decided to award that team the first place. Drum roll, please. So I'm really excited to announce that the first prize and the title of the winner goes to Team City Canvas.
It's hard to show emotion to we're super excited. Thanks so much.
You fell out from that as well. Thank you very much.
Like we said, so both teams came very close from each other, and we thought that the solution that City Canvas provided was a little bit more kind of closer or more real to production and being implemented. We thought that both teams are going to face challenges, not insurmountable yet. Both teams are going to face challenges. But probably at this stage, the Team Two-Way might have a little bit harder challenges to overcome than City Canvas. We definitely wish both teams a lot of success, and we're going to help them. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. But at this point in time, I wanted you to join me in congratulating the team City Canvas for becoming the winner of Ignite Scale San Diego program. Congratulations. And congratulations to the Two-Way team for all the hard work that you've done and for being where you are today. Congrats. All right. I would like to invite the team City Canvas to say a few words about your experience and where you're at.
I can go first. Thank you so much for this prize winning. But I want to say that it was a complete team effort in collaboration with Scale, and also the help we got from our mentors, Christine Jones and Dana Springs. I want to thank them especially because they really stuck it out with us as we pivoted, as we tried to understand more about what's happening in the city. And I also want to actually congratulate the Two-Way team. They did a great job with their presentation. I was actually very impressed. And I would love to learn more about that. In terms of the scale itself, I think one of the best things that came out of this competition was my partner, Michelle. I think the hardest part is to always find the one person that you can connect with at a mental level, and obviously bring in different expertise. And so that has been really great. Thank you.
All right.
Such a great experience. And again, just a shout out to Dana and Jacques Tarazi for their relentless optimism and good critique and support along the way. And for Eric and our amazing developers working between SoCal and South Africa to get this out there.
And thank you, Aaron, for introducing me to City Canvas, because my original team dropped out of the race. So this couldn't have been possible without Aaron and Daniel's help to connect Michelle and Nazma with me.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys. And you'll receive the $2,900 check as the winner. But it's just a part of all the other things that are going to come your way. We're going to talk about those a little bit later. All right. Team Two-Way, you guys want to say a few things?
Yeah, sure. Congratulations, City Canvas. Job well done. Yeah, we're excited to have had the opportunity to be a part of this, especially as, we haven't even graduated. We're basically graduating, next a few weeks, so we not even out of school yet. So it's been a great opportunity to apply what we've been learning in the classroom into a real life scenario, and also have the support from Scale to help us, build our idea and to make it more of a reality. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that. It's been a great experience and something that I'm very excited to continue on. I think it's the most productive thing that's come out of my UCSD education so far, is being able to work on this project. So definitely a great time.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks, and congratulations, guys. And you receive a $2,500 check and other things.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right. At this time, I'd like to have Christine Jones, the Chief of Civic Arts Strategies for the City of San Diego, say a few things about the experience.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Aaron. I would just, first of all, want to congratulate both teams on getting to this point. As everybody's indicated, it's been a really interesting, I think, time to be involved with this, and for the perseverance and resilience that both teams, showed within the process. I've been very excited to be involved from the beginning with both US Ignite and Scale San Diego's innovation program. And I've really seen it as a fast track to be able to really offer kind of agile approaches that cities aren't always able to do on their own to problem solving. Specifically, I recall during the Innovation Week, during the mini sprint, I presented 2 challenges related to arts and culture engagement to the participants at the sprint. The first challenge really focused on the city's interest in collecting cultural assets, specifically about San Diego's arts and culture ecosystem, for understanding it better, and specifically from the public's point of view and their perspective. It was really important for us to really understand what is important in different neighborhoods and communities related to arts, culture, and creativity. The second challenge I posed really centered on building greater awareness of, strengthening participation in, and connection to residents, and really connecting arts, culture, and creative events and the organizers to the people and participants and develop audiences. And since that initial pitch, and which seems like a year ago, but I recognize it's only 3 months ago, I just want a big shout out to City Canvas team. They've really been able to advance their creative solution and in their own unique way meet both challenges, which has been interesting to see how that's evolved over the last 3 months. I've been really impressed with their research, their ideation, their creativity, and really the creative process during this unprecedented time. And I think that goes to both teams. It really, having to move this completely online and remotely working and creating these teams could be challenging in and of itself, but then the overall problem solving and creativity that's come out of it has been really fascinating to watch. Specifically with City Canvas team, the platform that they've created has great potential, I think, for citywide use, as well as scalability, not only here in San Diego, but in other places. It can really help maybe reignite arts, culture, and creativity, and really support maybe that greater participation, hopefully in a very inclusive and responsive way. I think that's what our goal is. So I want to, again, thank US Ignite, Scale San Diego, and Cox Communications for innovation program and looking at ways to help the city of San Diego create smart, connected city here, not only here, but, scalable other places. And more importantly, I want to just say a big shout out again to City Canvas team. They're the team that I worked with the most, and a shout out for their hard work, their resilience. I look forward to seeing how this product evolves and really responds to the kind of historic and unprecedented time we're all in.
Thanks, Christine. I just wanted to say also thank you and Kirby Brady, both of you from the city of San Diego, for all the hours and hours and hours of time you guys put into working with these teams and providing your expertise, providing your insight, and providing your subject matter expertise, very importantly. The program wouldn't be possible without you. Thank you. I'd like to ask Christy Marcella, Director of Economic Development and Innovation of Jacobs Center for Neighborhood Innovation, who's also been a critical part of the program and a mentor, to provide some insights. Christy.
Sure. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for asking me to speak. I've just had an amazing time working with a couple of the teams during this program. I had the opportunity to work with the two-way team, and then I also worked with the Work in Your Underpants team. What I think impressed me the most about the program is just the speed and the force with which everything happens. It can feel so overwhelming, but both of the teams that I worked with were so nimble and flexible and really receptive to comments and connections that I was attempting to make with the teams to try and help in this virtual setting in COVID-19, when people were getting floods of emails, of just trying to make those personal connections and help people get access to the people that they were trying to develop apps for, to that inclusivity that we've heard a lot throughout people's presentations today. And I just challenge everyone that when we think about what's going on in the world right now, what's going across our country today, to realize that you all are developing apps that can like change the fabric of society if we include that inclusivity really intentionally. And if we have those hard discussions and we talk to people who could work remotely in the Promise Zone and try and understand what those barriers are, which is what Work in Your Underpants was working on, when we talk about how do we engage artistic communities in other areas of San Diego to make sure that arts and culture aren't exclusive, but instead inclusive. I think that's really the power where technology has the ability to change that. And like Christine said, having worked in a city, having teams like you all be able to, in a short period of time, dedicate a lot of effort to thinking about innovative ways for cities, municipalities, and communities to think about engaging with one another, I think is such a valuable element of the Scale SD program, and really has great potential to create partnerships with local government that I think you all as founders probably never envisioned that being such a stakeholder and point of contact in what we think about developing technology around.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the help and for being with the program and dedicating your time. Now, with regards to our partners, this program wouldn't be possible without support by both US Ignite and Cox Communications. From the very beginning, both US Ignite and Cox believed in us when we just started, and continued supporting us and worked with us very closely on turning the program to what it is today. And I wanted to ask Glenn Reichert, the founder and CTO of US Ignite, to share some of the insights. What's been your experience being part of the Ignite Scale San Diego?
Well, it's been just an incredible event here that you've put on. I wanted to thank the 40 to 60 people that we've had on all day here, and the fact that it really makes a significant difference that you're showing support for these teams and are going to help make this difference in your own communities. If you're not familiar with US Ignite, since we have so many folks on the call, we're a nonprofit, a 501c3, a national nonprofit that is accelerating the smart city and community movement by creating value for folks in the private part of the ecosystem, in guiding communities and governments into the connected future, and really creating a place for private sector growth that steadily advances technology that's at the heart of smart community development. And one of the things that's really at the heart of smart community development is the exchange of data and real-time information. And from that standpoint, we couldn't be prouder than to be standing with our partners in Cox Communications. Cox has done wonders in Southern California to be able to provide the kinds of high-speed connectivity and innovative communication services and smart and connected community services that we think are just the very best way of advancing smart cities. This Urban Innovation Challenge couldn't be better named. Daniel and team, I think that as urban innovation is the subject matter, it is the key thing that we need going forward. That expresses the need right now for COVID innovation. It expresses the need for economic revitalization and innovation. And it really expresses in urban innovation the challenge of how do we bring cities forward? How do we avoid losing time due to the pandemic, and how can we advance the cities? I really want to congratulate both teams. At times, both of you had me in my number one part of the column, but my eraser, and we ended up having to choose one of the two of you. But really, you've done a great job. We've got 2 winners and 2 cash prizes today. The depth and sophistication of your presentations, their market analyses, your competitive analysis, business cases, project plans, your ability to sell, all of those things I think have been tremendous. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to really recognize the value add that a lot of the Ignite Scale San Diego teams have provided here. Daniel, Aaron, Greg, others on the Scale team, the mentors that we've had who've made a huge difference, Steve Jones, Dana Springs, Dr. Shirazi, Christy. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but all of the mentors, you've really made a very significant difference. And in fact, the entire Ignite Scale San Diego steering committee, that has a couple of dozen people on it, and they've been meeting at least monthly and sometimes more often to try to make sure that these teams have both the guidance and the support that they need to have the results that were shown off today. And what you've seen is the cream of the crop. I think we had, Daniel, we had about 200 people initially for the kickoff weekend. And we formed those into teams. And Daniel and company have run them through a series of gates, and I was able to attend some of those. And Stephen Richer from our partners, Cox Communications, was able to attend some of those. And what you're seeing today is really the cream of that crop. One of the things that US Ignite can do is to help take the winners and take them to be national. One of the things that we want to do is to give them that kind of exposure, and I'm sure that we're going to have some help from Cox Communications in doing that as well. Let's see if I can just bring up another slide here. Oh, I have to get the right one. Show me. Here I go. So here is the set of communities. Let's see, and now I need to go and say, that's the one I want. So what I'm showing you here is the set of communities that US Ignite is working with across the country, thanks to sponsorship from a number of folks, including our partners at Cox Communications and others who are really helping us to make a difference in what's going on in those communities. And we're going to be delighted to be able to take these two applications and add them to the other applications, Fresh Start, Road Reader, that came out of last year's competition, things that we're able to give a national platform to, and to help find other communities to make it not just successful in San Diego, but successful throughout the country in making these applications be something that's going to really make a very big difference. I wanted to let you know that US Ignite is going to be announcing a webinar in a few weeks in the best practices in contact tracing. And we will be sure to let Daniel and the steering committee know. And if you're not on the steering committee list or on one of the lists, be sure to let Daniel and Aaron know. They'd be glad to add you to the list so that you can come to that webinar. And just give final thanks here to the Scale San Diego team, Daniel, Aaron, Greg, the folks from the city, Eric Caldwell, the folks from UCSD, Todd Heilton, Stephen Dow, Jacques Shirazi. And I especially like to call out for last year's winner, Chad, being a mentor this year. I think that shows a good start. Let's continue that kind of tradition. And both of the winners this year help with next year. Looking for that kind of help. And of course, Christine Jones and Dana and all the other folks who have helped to make this work. As you know, the teams don't do it by themselves. The grid that I see on my screen is really the group of folks who make this all work. So thanks very much. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you, Glenn. So let me just conclude and talk a little bit about the next steps. Well, it's been amazing 4 or 5 months, because we started this year's program probably around December. And of course, I want to thank all the partners that we worked with. I also want to thank Downtown Works, who, despite all these challenges that we had in the last few months, been with us, supported us, and provided a lot of help. And also particularly Wolf Bielas, my co-founder, has been listening to teams' presentations and giving them a lot of feedback. In terms of the next steps that are coming after this. So even though the program is kind of over today, the program, we're not stopping there. We're going to continue working with the team and helping them And as a matter of fact, as we were deliberating as judges, we also had a little brainstorm session in terms of all the next steps. We're gonna help the team succeed and go to the next level. And this ranges from introducing them to the right people and getting them in front of the right people, also in San Diego, beyond, and other cities. And also, it is making sure they get all the mentorship, they get technical help as needed, and helping them find funding as well to the extent we can help them. We're definitely going to do that. I would kind of do a shout out, and we'll do it again, for everybody who is on this call and who is willing to is interested in working with the winning teams, with both of the teams, interested in working with them, interested in helping them. Please reach out. We'll be happy to connect you. I think there's a ton of opportunities for both teams, but definitely want to make sure this is happening. So, and we're going to be announcing next steps in terms of the program overall and the other challenges we're going to be looking at briefly. But we're living at very interesting times, but a lot of challenging times, but also in challenges like this, a lot of new opportunities emerge. And those are the opportunities that we're looking forward to embrace. Last but not least, I wanted to thank my team. I wanted to thank Greg and Aaron, but especially Aaron. I would say without Aaron, this program wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't have happened. Aaron jumped in jumped into our team, and what was it, end of February, beginning of March, right, Aaron?
Yeah, right in time for the sprint weekend.
Without knowing much about our program. And she jumped right in, and she basically drove the program over the last 3 months. She drove it. She made sure the teams got all the attention, they were taken care of. She communicated with the subject matter experts. She basically drove the program. So thank you, Erin, very much.
Thank you all. It has been such a pleasure going on this journey with everybody, and being part of this community is really fantastic. So this is just the beginning of a lot more great things to come. I'm so happy that we're wrapping up on time. And if there is anything final, Daniel, that you want to say, or you can go ahead and send us off to lunch.
Please stay tuned. Stay tuned with us through Facebook, through the Slack channel, through Twitter, and so on, because we're going to take a little break after the end of the program, but we're going to come back in a few weeks with announcement of new events and a new program that's coming in. And thanks a lot for being with us, and look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you.